After 5 years of a happy relationship, my husband suddenly changed. He became deeply religious, made new friends at church, and started adopting increasingly conservative beliefs. One day, he confessed that he now sees himself as straight and believes our marriage is a sin keeping him from salvation. His words, calling me a devilish temptation, shattered my heart. Now, I'm left alone, trying to understand how the man I love could change so drastically. So we've been married for like 3 years and dated for about 2. In total, 5 years of a gay relationship. We're two men, have always been two men, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. My husband and I have had a rather healthy relationship for the most part. Of course we have minor arguments every now and then, but what relationship is perfect? In the end we always resolved them and our affection would continue as normal. This is kind of why I'm really confused by what's going on with us. Why now? I'm a Christian. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of that, but gay Christians do exist. My husband was agnostic, not necessarily an atheist, just wasn't completely on board with any religion, and that's fine. I would have supported him if he found peace in literally anything. He didn't need to become a Christian, and honestly, as selfish as this sounds, I wish he didn't. I know this makes me sound like a terrible person, but he changed so drastically afterwards and I miss the man he used to be. It was a slow start. He asked me about verses from the Bible. We went to church. He even fasted for Lent. Christmas this year was much more than just presents, and I was happy that I had this piece of me to share with him now. I was raised religious and struggled with my identity. If it weren't for other queer Christians, I would have left Christianity. I was glad that I still had these things we could bond over, but it kept ramping up. All of a sudden, he's going to church more than I am, which is perfectly fine. He's always carrying a Bible with him, and will randomly cite a verse when we're having political discussions. I've noticed his views have started to shift towards the right as well, and recently retweeted someone saying, "Your body, my choice. You're a twink. Women's reproductive rights don't concern you in the slightest." It kept ramping up. He started agreeing with the whole LGBT-T crowd, and started spewing harmful rhetoric about drag queens, as if we aren't friends with a bunch of them. When I told him that drag queens are much less likely to harm children than some pastors, he lost his shit, saying I was a heathen and that his friends were right. This is the part that caught my attention. What friends? I asked him what he meant by that, and he started backtracking, saying he was tired and that we should go to bed. I was tired, and arguing didn't seem like it'd do us any good right now. So I put a pin in it and we got ready for bed. Our room has a bathroom connected, and usually we keep the door open. He takes a shower and makes sure to lock it, which was weird, but I didn't say anything about it. If he wants to set this boundary down, that's fine, but he could at least communicate it. The next day is a Sunday, and he's already out of bed and, I'm assuming, at church. I get up and got ready, but once I arrived I realized he wasn't there. That confused me, so after the service I called him asking him where he was. He tells me he's in church, but I told him I was here too and didn't see him. He clarifies he means this the other. I'm not going to say the denomination, because I don't want to cause any arguments. Church. This was news to me, especially because he never brought it up and still carried our Bible. I told him to send me the address and I'll pick him up so we can get brunch, but he tells me that he doesn't want his friends seeing me. That hurt. I asked him if we could at least meet up and he said he'll see me at home. After a few hours, he finally comes home. He says we need to talk. I agreed. I wanted to ask him why he didn't want his friends seeing me, and as I opened my mouth to ask the question, he said I'm straight. I stared at him for a bit, and he continued, explaining that his church helped him realize he wasn't going to see the kingdom of God if he continued living in sin, and that he needed to leave me as soon as possible. He told them about the pastor comment I made last night, and they said that I was a devil trying to lure him away from Christ. He started repeating a lot of the same rhetoric I heard from other Christians growing up, and it really upset me. He even said that I could be saved, and that I already had the traditionally masculine look, and that I just needed to steer away from homosexuality. I feel like I'm in an alternate reality right now. I'm being told by the love of my life that I'm a devil that needs to return to Christ because I shut down his homophobic rhetoric. My gay husband is being homophobic. I'm sorry, but not once in the 5 years we've been together did he realize he was suddenly straight. It just doesn't work like that. It's not like we're in some other universe where confomo is a thing, right? I told him that he needed to leave and that we could discuss arrangements afterwards. I still want him, I love him, but I have no idea how he could look at me with a straight face and tell me all of that. He started arguing, saying that he didn't want to leave and that we could be friends. So I told him that I wouldn't be friends with a self-hating queer for the life of me. He packed a bag and left. His location shows he's at some random house I've never been to, but I assume that's one of the churchgoers he's friends with. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do from here. Did I seriously just lose my husband? I don't understand how this could happen. What can I do now? I miss him already.